When we follow our thoughts too much, we feel very sad, very heavy, and very stressed. But when we notice, oh, why are we playing with thoughts? The moment we realize it, we let it go. If we know we are thinking, we stop right away. When we hear a sound, we should know that the one hearing is not us. When we taste something, it's not us tasting. It just happens by itself. Tastes like sour, sweet, or salty are just names we give to them. In reality, there is only the knowing of the taste. Sounds are just things. Everything is just something that appears for the mind to know, and the mind always knows by itself. But notice, hey, there is no me at all. The knowing happens by itself. When we teach children, our kids, students, and young ones, to wake up and be aware, they must learn to stay mindful from now on. While they are aware, observe carefully. This knowing happens by itself, right? Right now they are hearing a sound. This knowing happens on its own, doesn't it? They hear by themselves, right? So where is me in all of this? When we keep asking children these questions, when we keep teaching them, whether they are our children, students, or team members, whenever we have the opportunity to share this, we should notice something. The more children practice awareness, the more naturally they wake up to the present moment. They become less stressed, feel lighter, and their memory improves. Their behavior also starts to change for the better. Often when children are together, they tease, argue, or bully each other. This can make some kids feel stressed or even depressed. Some may want to drop out of school because they feel trapped in a world of harsh words and judgment, and when they become teenagers, things get even more complicated. They see their friends in relationships, and they start wanting the same thing. They feel pressured by emotions, by social expectations, and by the desire to fit in. But if they learn awareness, if they learn to simply know, they won't be so overwhelmed by these thoughts and feelings. They will find clarity and peace within themselves. They see their friends going to clubs and parties and want to go too. When they can't, they feel stressed. Some kids start acting out, getting rebellious, becoming too attached to their friends, addicted to games, and caught up in many distractions. Their minds are always busy, constantly thinking about different things, never at peace. But when children are taught to be aware, to wake up, to be mindful, to recognize when they are thinking, then they can simply know and let it go. No matter what happens, they learn to stay present. When they put food in their mouth, they should be aware of the act of eating and tasting. Just know the taste and let it go. Notice carefully. This knowing happens by itself. When they smell something, they should observe. See, the knowing happens on its own. Whether it's a good smell or a bad smell, it's just something appearing in awareness. When they feel cold, hot, warm, or itchy, when they sense anything through their body, they should observe that this knowing happens by itself. The body moves on its own, and what about the voice inside their head? The thoughts that talk and chatter, those words come and go on their own. When we remain awake inside and see all these things as they are, we simply know and let them go. Don't play with them. Don't get caught up in them. Just know and be free. When we know and let go, the mind becomes empty and neutral. Then something amazing begins to happen. As the mind becomes familiar with simply knowing within, it no longer follows thoughts like before. In the past it was used to constantly thinking, jumping from one thought to another, getting carried away by emotions. But now, awareness becomes more frequent. Children will start to change, even adults will start to change. Their inner awareness will improve. Their wisdom and clarity will grow. They will begin to see, wow, it's thoughts that create everything. A house is a house only because we think of it as one. This body is ours only because we think it is. Look at your hand. Did it ever say it was a hand? Number. We decide that it's a hand. We label it as a left hand or right hand. We name each finger, the pinky, the thumb. We give meaning and identity to everything. We assign names and labels to things. This is how thoughts work. They create concepts, turning simple physical things into something we believe has personal meaning. Every time we play with thoughts, we strengthen these ideas. Thought gives importance to things, making them feel real and solid. But when we see that the mind is thinking, the connection breaks. The mind exists separately. The thoughts exist separately. They are truly two different things. They are always side by side, but they no longer stick together. Before, they were entangled, thoughts and mind moving as one. But now, they are separate. They exist together, but they no longer cling. Both the thinking and the knowing happen together, and then they dissolve back into pure awareness. Everything appears for a moment and then disappears again, leaving only emptiness. Nothing remains as it was before, because the mind is naturally empty. The mind is a sunyata element, an element of emptiness. It has no shape, no form. It does not come or go. It is neither dark nor light, neither born nor destroyed. It is only the arising of mental fabrications. When we get caught up in these fabrications, the mind seems to take form. It appears to exist. But when children listen to this teaching, they begin to awaken more often. It doesn't take long. Just teaching them for 10 to 15 minutes a day can be enough. Find time to teach them. At home, before bed, in the morning. Help them awaken. Help them feel present. Point out to them, right now you're hearing a sound. See, the mind knows on its own. Right now, thoughts are appearing inside your mind. Can you observe them? Do you see the voice speaking inside? That's it. Don't play with it. Just know. There is one part that knows and another part that thinks. They are separate. The one that knows is not you. It is the natural awareness of the mind itself. It has no shape, no form. Look closely. The voice speaking inside your mind, does it have a shape? No, but it still makes sound within. If you keep observing, if you look deeply, you will see there is truly nothing there. It is empty. No shape, no form, just space. And we teach children to awaken in this way, and they observe deeply. They will clearly see there is only emptiness. There is nothing there. There is no self inside. There are no parents, no family, no relatives, no friends. There is no food, no possessions, no essentials, no living beings, no individuals, no identities. Within this purity, even the world itself does not exist. When we keep teaching children and asking them this question, then where is the self? They start to reflect, and then at some point, the mind itself will answer. Everyone can do this. Ask yourself repeatedly, where is the self? Where is me? Where are we? The one who hears sound, who is that? The mind knows on its own, and the sound itself, it is just something. No one is speaking. Words arise on their own. No one is thinking. Thoughts appear on their own. No one owns emotions. Happiness and suffering arise by themselves, according to causes and conditions. So, where are we? If we keep contemplating like this, again and again, one day, the mind will break through. It will see clearly. It will suddenly recognize the truth. For some, this realization is so powerful that they burst into tears. Some may collapse where they stand, overwhelmed by what they have seen. Tears fall. They want to tell the whole world, but there are no words for it. There is nothing there. The realization declares itself. The mind sees that it has never truly controlled anything. Thoughts, emotions, everything. It all happens by itself, and in that moment, profound understanding arises. This truth is beyond words. This is the awakening, the realization that liberation is not about the body, but about the mind, and this understanding, this awakening, is truly extraordinary. Some people may feel like their body is breaking apart, or they may see the whole world disappear right in front of them. Everything becomes open and empty. Tears may fall. Goosebumps may rise. Each person will experience it in their own way. But one thing is certain, there will be no more doubt. It will feel like a deep aha moment, completely understood in the heart. It's like eating food. When you are full, you know you are full. No one needs to tell you, you just know. In the same way, when the truth is realized, the person knows it for themselves. This is why teaching children, or anyone, even ourselves, is so important. Spending just 10 to 15 minutes a day, guiding them to relax, to let go of stress, and to awaken to awareness, can change everything. This is the highest truth, the key to true freedom from suffering. If more people in the world learned this, practiced this, and taught each other this understanding, the world would change. The more often we awaken inside, the more we come closer to Buddha nature, the true wisdom of life. And it doesn't take long, because this is the natural path of wisdom. Anyone who stays aware, who wakes up again and again, will definitely see the results in this very life. 100% guaranteed. And they will be free from suffering. Completely free. Because once they truly understand, they will never suffer over anything again. They will see that everything in life is just a concept, a temporary idea, nothing more. Then everyone will know deep in their heart that nothing truly exists. All the words we speak are just made-up language, concepts created for communication in this imaginary world. Humans believe they truly exist. We believe that our voice, our thoughts, and our identity are real. But in reality, there is nothing there. Language itself is just a human invention. If children hear this teaching, or if we continue to listen and reflect on it, true understanding will eventually arise. Imagine a classroom full of students. Then, suddenly, a few students raise their hands and say, "Teacher, I understand now. I have awakened. I am free." It happened suddenly. Everything disappeared. Everything became empty. I feel my body vanish. I cried because I finally saw the truth. There is nothing. There is no me, no mine. I don't really exist. My parents, they only gave birth to this body, but they too are just consciousness, just another mind like everyone else in this world. Now I see that everyone is just lost, wandering in an illusion, but I am awake. I understand now. I have no more doubts. And right now, even as I speak, I know this voice is not mine. It is not me speaking. It is just happening on its own. The knowing is simply aware of it. This is the moment of true awakening, a realization so clear, so undeniable, that there is nothing left to question. Only pure knowing remains, silent, vast, and free. Children will start sharing their experiences with each other. They will tell their friends. They will tell us. Sometimes, after we teach our children or students, they will come back and excitedly share their realizations with us. And we will be amazed. We will smile, our hearts filled with joy, and we will say sadhu, rejoicing in their awakening. Because these children are truly free from doubt now, and not only that, they know all the time. Awareness is always present for them. They will explain everything in their own words. And once a few children awaken to this pure truth, others will start to notice. Their friends will see their transformation and begin to take this seriously. They will think, how did my friend do this? If they can do it, I can do it too. and naturally the wisdom will spread. Children will teach each other. They will start discussing among themselves. This is how it is. This is what I experience. They will start asking questions to those who have already awakened, and those who have realized the truth will guide their friends naturally and effortlessly. But some will be confused. Some will struggle to understand. Some will feel frustrated. How can I understand this? Why can't I see it too? Some may even cry, deeply longing to realize the ultimate truth. Meanwhile, others are still lost in thought, in conversation, in doubt, without realizing that even their doubt, even their questions, even their words are just thoughts happening by themselves. The truth is already right there. They only need to stop chasing it and just see. We continue teaching, giving examples to help children understand. No matter what we do, we must be aware, just know, and then let it go. Observe carefully. Right now, the mind knows on its own. It smells on its own. It hears sounds on its own. It tastes on its own. It feels on its own. It thinks on its own. It imagines on its own. It has emotions on its own. It desires things on its own. It likes and dislikes things on its own. It creates and fabricates ideas on its own. So, what is our job? We don't need to control anything. We just need to watch. Just notice. Right now, it is knowing by itself. It is functioning all on its own. Try walking. Do you see? The legs move by themselves, one after another. Try running. It runs by itself, balancing on its own. When we were little, learning to walk, we would fall. But now, walking happens automatically. Try riding a bicycle. At first we fall immediately, but after practicing we suddenly balance effortlessly. Now no matter how we ride, we don't fall, because the mind has learned balance on its own. The mind knows how to learn. The more we teach children and guide others, the more people will awaken. More and more people will realize the truth. People will start talking about awakening instead of just meaningless conversations. In schools, children are taught many subjects that are all fabricated knowledge, teaching them to think and memorize. Education today teaches children to hold on to knowledge, to grasp ideas. But after teaching these things, we must also guide children to awaken, to separate fabricated knowledge, sammuti, conventional reality, from awakening, vimutti, liberation. We must help them understand that these are two completely different things. Since we still live in the conventional world, we should live with understanding without getting lost in it. Don't sink into it. Don't cling to it. Everything is just thinking, just imagining, just forming emotions, just borrowing language to communicate and survive. But in the awakened state, from waking to sleeping, we can remain aware. If we reach this understanding, we all can attain the truth, because every person has a mind. We just need someone to point the way. Not getting carried away by thoughts, memories, and emotions is the highest wisdom in life, and this wisdom leads to complete and permanent freedom from suffering. No more suffering ever. May everyone awaken and be free from suffering as soon as possible.